Good day. This is HJT Views on current affairs. Today's print media is reporting that the Supreme Court has asked the central government not to shirk its responsibilities, but to make model builder, buyer, and agent buyer agreements so that there is no distortion in pricing and that the middle class, which is buying residential property, is adequately and fully protected. This issue is not as simple as it is being made out to be. Under the Constitution, real estate, land, etc., comes under the control of the state governments. And we know very well that the state governments are extremely wary of giving this power over to the center. In several cases, the central government has passed certain model acts which the state governments are supposed to follow, but which they have chosen not to follow or are delaying the implementation of the laws. The classic cases are the agricultural law that were ultimately reversed, but the states were taking a view that agriculture is a state subject and there is no reason for the center to make any laws relating agriculture because that's a state subject. However, they conveniently forgot that when it comes to procurement prices, it is the center that is procuring through the Food Corporation of India. And therefore, this argument that the center must spend but not have any authority to decide the outcome of the acts fell flat when they were told this dichotomy. Similarly, very similar was the Real Estate Regulation Act. The center passed a model act requesting the state governments to pass similar acts in their state assemblies. And there are many state governments and state assemblies which have still not passed or which are delaying or which are diluting the provisions of the Real Estate Regulation Act. And the act is losing its meaning. Something similar will happen over here. It has already happened with the labor codes that have been passed by Parliament. The state governments were supposed to make the necessary rules and regulations so that the labor codes could be facilitated. Today, there are so many state governments, including BJP state governments, which are feeling frightened of implementing the labor codes. The implementation dates have pushed back by 6 months, at least 3 or 4 times by now. So there is no doubt that where it comes to implementing reforms in areas which are coming under the ambit of the states under the Indian Constitution, the states are not having the courage to pass the necessary laws, regulations, procedures, rules, etc. The states are just continuously pushing it behind. The same thing will happen with this model agreement. The moment the center makes out a model agreement and recommends that it be adopted by the states will do everything possible not to implement these model agreements, whether it is builder to buyer or whether it is agent to buyer. This is something that has been noticed over and over again, that Indian states are not having the courage to go ahead with performing reforms in areas that squarely come within their ambit of operations. They are just wanting to push things behind on the grounds that some vested interest somewhere will get disturbed, may not like it, they will lose their votes, etc. And this is something that India will have to confront, that reforms only in central laws are not going to work out. Reforms will have to work even in state laws. And the states today under the Indian Constitution have tremendous authority in agriculture, in labor, in education, etc. If reforms in these areas are not going to happen, India cannot deliver higher rates of growth, cannot deliver a much more effective distribution of wealth system when the state governments are not supportive. This is what we will have to face as we go along. That ends my talk of today. I hope you like it. Please do share with your colleagues, addresses, friends, relatives, etc. Till we meet again. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, Jai Mumbai. Bye.